We have a 2003 or 2004 Dodge 5.9 Cummins here. So we went to Genos garage where we got these. And this is their battery cable kit. Pretty self-explanatory. We might have to do some splicing here. That might be the only tricky part. But a couple grounds on either side. A couple positives on either side. And then the one going across. Here's the kit it comes with. It does come with terminals, terminal covers, a couple zip ties, whatever this thing is, and then cables. They are nicely labeled, so you can't really mess it up. This one is the one that might need a little bit of splicing, so we'll see about that once we get it. And they do come with this thing to coat the battery terminals with, and that's to the oxidation and anything from building up around the battery. Start taking things apart. Now the reason why we're doing this right here is because someone tried to jerry rig this like crazy, and that's as tight as, well, I guess it comes off, it's so loose. They tried to put this screw in here to get it tight again, and they couldn't. And they did the same on this side and this side. So really, this all needs to be replaced. And honestly, this truck is probably going to idle better. You know, this doesn't add horsepower, but it's probably going to idle nicer now that it's going to be back up to steady and full voltage. All right, so if you look right down here, this is where the main ground is to the block on the passenger side. And then remember, don't forget to install this little ground. Comes right over here to the fender. And there's a locking nut it gives you, so you can have some on the inside, and then the more permanent stuff on the inside of either side, and kind of like the more temporary stuff that you might take off every now and then on this side. So like something like this, like this little extra, when I put it on the positive, you can have one in between here, one in between here, and then one on this side of the nut with the lock nut on the back side. And that's kind of out here on the second one. It's where I put how I did the ground for this guy down here. So, but these covers are nice. Don't forget a little bit of the goop. They send you with some of this special chemical, and it's a very light coat. Just put some on your finger, and I just rubbed it around the inside right there. Not a lot, just so it's there. On this truck, I already had an upgraded cable for the grid heater, and he already had this one right here. It goes to the alternator, so I already had that one done, so I didn't need to buy those. This is the grid relay. Got it the same place as I got Genos. Also had these in stock for this 03. That's what they look like. Two up top and the two little connections here. And as you can see, they bolt right down the side right there. And it looks just like the new one. I suppose it's probably better to have an eyelet, I would think. But that's how they came, so that's what we'll give for the new ones. And then this is coming back to the positive. All right, so here's the power wire to the starter. Here's his little, for his gadget that goes inside the truck. And we're gonna leave this main connection from here over to the other side off. So this old one's gonna be the last one I do. So in the factory setup, it looks like they're all crimped together. First one goes right over here. Short one. The middle one straight down there on the frame. Right there, you see that wire? This one. And it goes, there's a spot literally right there. On the frame, it should be directly behind come underneath here. There it is, right there. Pull this back a little bit, and that's it. So, don't need to take the cover off for that one. And then the other one, the big one, is the one that runs, right, this thing, down here in front of the engine block. The little one's on first, and then do the big one last. And at that point, positive on that side is pretty easy, negative on that side is pretty easy. Negative on this side, since there's 3 of them instead of 2, a little bit tougher than that side, but about the same. And the only somewhat difficult cable for this will be the power if we need to do some splicing. So also note this N, the circle is smaller on the ground, the one that says N or Z, whatever way you look at it. All right, the one with a P is positive. I guess N is probably for neutral. So this is the ground. It has a slightly smaller opening. So here's the negative. Once we clamp that down, it's gonna fit good. Here's the positive. That is way too loose. So they kind of make it foolproof that it's only one is gonna really fit on the negative. So we got this one, the ground on this side buttoned up. All right, this one I used. I really like this kit compared to the OEM because it's 3 separate wires that if one's damaged, you just take off the one, replace it. Whereas the original set over here was this one right here. And as you can see, it had seen much better days, but they are all in there together. And that would have been a much harder replacement to do individual wires. But you pull this up right here, and you can see I got 1, 2, third one on this side. So now the only thing on this one was that this one is the main one to the block is a little short. I'd like to see it like an extra 6 inches. Maybe it's just because it's hard to bend because it's so thick. But I did it just right down the path of the other ones. Definitely got to have the loom on there because it's going to be touching the positives. Super easy access underneath. So I went down and around the ECU. I suppose if I came straight down, it might have been, you know, I wouldn't need as much cable. Maybe that's where my 6 inches is supposed to be, but this just seems way cleaner and it's not touching anything. It won't hurt anything. On this side right here, clean that up. That one, that cable is actually a little bit long. That's the only one that's been really kind of off so far. You see how long this is. Look at all. You could probably cut 10 inches off this and it'd still work. Because that one's real easy. It's basically just frame rail straight vertical and then a 90 at the top. So this one's got some extra cable hanging around, but that's okay. That means we can, better to have that than not enough. And then same thing with this one. Real short, but plenty of cable to situate each way you want. All right, guys, I wanted to go over this part real quick since it's probably, this is the driver's side battery positive to starter cable. And it's, okay, so this is one of the old ones I took off. It does have a connector right here. And this is the part that we're going to cut somewhere on here. All right, so yeah, we could cut all the way at the end right here and it'd be still roughly the same length. I'll bring this over here and to show you what it is. All right, so that's the connection right down there. And to undo this so you don't break anything, because these are getting older now, right? Don't push at the back, push the top section. It's just got to bend down a hair to get underneath that little tab right there. So right at the top section on the bottom side, push that. It's just a single blade that's in there. So that's going to be a little tricky to clean up, but we'll try to get some contact cleaner on there. Maybe some air to blow it out or something. But also, this wire that goes right here. Here's the post. This wire was inside the loom of this big one, and then it left the loom and it was connected to this cable right here, which had a zip tied to it, and it was zip tied to this, and now this runs inside the loom all the way to the starter. So whatever this is, don't cut it, because you have to reuse it, and ideally pop it into the loom on the way down. So next up, we gotta get the starter. I gotta find it down there somewhere. Might try to, hopefully I can get it from the bottom. But you see the big cable right here, so just follow it. Right there, just follow it back. And we'll get that unbolted. And once that's unbolted, as long as this little wire is free, then this can come out and I can start putting in my new stuff. Once again, just like this had, well, I'll show you. This original one, I cut it already. It had the little guy that I cut, the big one going to the starter, and this one going to for the crossover. So 2 of these were permanent, couldn't change those. And I really like the new design with these military style connections, where we can have how they did it here, where they had each wire 1, 2, 3, and this is the big one that runs all the way to the other side of the truck, right? Positive to positive on both batteries, connects them both. So that positive on the driver's side is going to have 1, 2, 3 spots, 3 key wires connected to it, and then this is also a key one, as this is going to need to be reconnected to this plug right here. All right, so I just finished up this on our piece we cut off at the red, so it's actually, this still looks a little bit thicker now than the original one, but we used the provided slice, and it says it's heat shrinkable, so I need to get a heat gun or a very little bit of heat from a torch and just heat this up a little bit. Heat gun is definitely going to be a safer way to go, so if you have one of those, that's what I would use. But that is going to service us just fine and make this connection good as new. All right, so that bracket right down here, that kind of held the, that was a 13. All right, in its little spot, little stud that looks like this. And then it's probably going to be easiest to, if you have the fuel filter deleted or removed, this would be done so quick. It appears like it's going to be easiest to come with an extension up over and then straight down, something like that. Here's the thing on top of the starter, kind of right behind the fuel filter housing. Kind of difficult to reach from the bottom. Seems like it's going to be easiest to go back over and straight down with an extension. All right, guys, I just pulled off the original harness. Note there's a big rubber cap on the end, so it's kind of hard to reach from the top. There's a 15 millimeter. Don't forget, you've got your signal wire, this long skinny thing that runs all the way to right here, but it runs all the way down. You see it, how it turns down there, and over to the starter. That's a separate pigtail connection, but it ran inside the loom, so that's going to be the goal. When I put that, once I put this one back in, the goal is going to be to try to pop it in, you know, just so it runs the same as how it did just now. Obviously, since this can't come off, it looks like we're just gonna, the copper end and no cap on for now. Now I was able to get that out. I couldn't go through the top due to the cap. What I did is I laid on the side down here and stuck my hand up over the cross member right here, kind of like how you're removing the starter, and I just was able to use some fixed wrenches. Couldn't get a ratchet up there, at least not a 1/2-inch ratchet, and I was able to break it with a fixed wrench and then just a ratcheting wrench until I can move it by hand and pop that off. So right now everything's out, and I've got a, so now we can start putting our new starter cable back in, and then add in this one and this other one and be done with the cables. All right, we're about finished up here. This side's ready and tight. This side's ready and tight. I've got his alternator on this side, crossover cable on this side, and then his little accessory that he's got. I think, I forgot what that's for. I think it's 12-volt charger, whatever. The factory one was routed under here, and although I tried initially to run it around here because it laid down real nice, but then I discovered it's laying right on top of this thing. If it ever rubbed through, that'd probably be a problem. So I tried to send it the same way, and if you crinkle it around, it shortens itself, so it's like the perfect length. And come down here, and with these cables being so big, it does kind of make down here kind of crowded. Notice this one ground right here that goes here. This one is not part of the battery cables. It runs all the way to the main harness, but it rests right where my finger is, or it was before I took it apart, right here. And it was rubbing on this corner apparently for quite a while. So who knows how corroded the inside of that ground is, but we'll see what that needs to be done in the future. But this one's got all 3 grounds nice and tight. We zip tied, since that one, this one that goes down here is very long. The one that goes to the frame on the under the wheel well, that one's kind of long. We kind of looped it and just zip tied it to the main ground that goes to the engine, so that should be out of everything's way. Obviously this ground's too short to worry about anything. Anyway, I got the electrical tape over this one. I ran the signal wire back through here, so, and then that shortens it up so it doesn't hit anything. So as you can see, signal wire just comes down here and goes back here, so it's kind of not really touching anything other than plastic loom, which is fine. And then I gotta put this back on, and then I'm gonna run this one that goes to right here on the outer side of this. But really, you get this on and tighten it while it's still kind of loose like it is now. I can still wiggle it, and then that way the 2 big ones can bend a little bit if needed, because they don't bend so easily without being warm.